Oh, perfect.
This better not be another fat winter, Matt.
Man, I don't know. I feel like I'm getting fat this winter. It's weird. I've never gotten fat.
We're both pretty bloated.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah.
Don't
Thursday
get fat.
Night.
Don't get fat.
Winter's here.
It's here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's officially here. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe my body's like, okay, we're finally getting winter, so now let's just do this. Boop. Just
throw on that extra little tub.
Oh, the food baby.
I do feel like a big lard, though. I really do.
A big lard? Do you? Yeah, I know. I feel like a worthless llama.
Yeah.
Speaking of worthless llamas, hey, Maynard James Keenan says he's almost done writing the next Tool album.
Oh, man.
For all of you holding your breath on that one.
It's been a long time.
In 2002.
Yeah, right. So I shot this one to you.
You did shoot this one to me.
This is something we've been hearing about. I mean, even back in our days of CMU fandom,
radio and whatnot. Yeah. We heard about another Tool album down the road. Of course, it's been a decade, more than a decade, since they've released one. So there have been many children born since the first Murmurs, and those children are now walking around making fun of kids that listen to Tool still.
Right. And I just love this because, you know,
if you needed a gauge on how relevant this album might be,
that's the whole point.
All you need to do is take a look at this little blurb we got from AV Club. Apparently, Skid Row's Sebastian Bach stopped by to visit the group. Now, you may be watching this and wondering who's Skid Row and who's Sebastian Bach. Well, I'm here to tell you. Sebastian Bach was the frontman for a hair metal band back in the late 80s, early 90s called Skid Row, known for such masterful, well thought out tunes and lyrics such as Youth Gone Wild and I'll Remember You.
Oh, wow.
Right. For the longest time when I first saw him on the music videos, because I'm old enough to remember when they were a new artist, which is terrible. But I remember, is this a guy or is this a girl? I couldn't tell what Sebastian Bach was because he's got a real pretty face.
It's like playing Castlevania.
Really pretty face. Not anymore, but he was, one of the Belmonts.
Yes.
Oh, for sure. For sure, definitely a Belmont.
What are you going to do with that web?
Oh, exactly. So anyhow, back to the point. If you needed to know how completely irrelevant a new Tool album would be, know that it's being thrown up all over Twitter by Sebastian Bach that he stopped by to visit the group and had some real glowing reviews for some of the new material. Let's go ahead and listen to this fogey talk about
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And I love his Twitter, you know.
Oh yeah. So here's his little blurb. This is progressive metal at its most atmospheric, and right when you get into a groovy trance, you get beat over the head with riffs so heavy it feels like a Tool.
Oh my god, dude, really? Cock rock.
Man, some tunes were so pummeling, it felt like I was getting a deep tissue massage. Man, the kids love to hear about old people and deep tissue massages. Boy, how Swedish are you? God. Yeah. In fact, they could call the record that. No song was shorter than 7 minutes, and some were 20 minutes long.
Oh, boy.
Right, this is the most unimportant thing ever. Look, Tool released some really great albums.
Agreed.
10 years is too long.
Yep.
Too long in anything.
Yeah.
This doesn't matter to me anymore. But hey, if you like Sebastian Bach, there's him being relevant for a minute, talking about a completely irrelevant record release.
Hey, here's a completely relevant product.
Speaking of tools, hey,
right.
This is a useful tool.
Yes, it is.
It seems like about every episode we're bringing you some sort of sex toy that'll do something really crazy for you.
2018, man.
Right, 2018. It's gonna be. Oh, it's going to be a big one. New vibrator can reportedly order pizza for you after you orgasm.
It's called the Rub Grub.
The Rub Grub. I love it.
Oh my God.
I love it. They need to work on the tagline, though.
Yeah.
This nerd that came up with this, what did he say? It was something really poorly worded. Now, in order to get to enjoy your Saturday night, all you need is your rub grub device. Get off and get stuffed.
That's kind of funny.
I feel like he flopped. I feel like
yeah.
they got flopped.
Yeah.
Maybe that was intentional.
Stuffed crust. Wow.
Usually that's the getting stuffed thing, and then the. I don't know how it works for everyone, but we're working this thing out on camera.
Yeah.
So let's get okay. So this thing will, wow. So the rub grub, it's able to order pizza from.
It is.
Okay,
This
so
is
from Domino's, right?
So yeah, it will be only connected to Domino's exclusively at first.
Okay.
But Cam Soda, it's the company making this unit.
Yes.
Vice President Darren Parker predicts that other national chains will jump on this product once they sense the buzz.
I feel like that may not be based in reality.
This is my favorite part of this article. This is from Parker, CEO. He says, masturbation, while ultimately enjoyable, can be a strenuous physical activity during which an individual exerts a lot of energy and burns many calories.
Now that is true. the calorie burning and the exerting of energy, it's true.
Okay. Is it enough to merit like ordering a pizza?
Probably not, unless you're just furiously whacking it.
Yeah. Now in order.
I say whacking it because I don't really have reference for the other stuff.
Yeah.
I
get off and get stuffed, all with a quick click of a button.
Right. So that's a thing. If you need your dildo to order pizza, it's a thing now.
Yeah.
I don't know if Amazon carries it, but I'm sure you could have a drone drop off your pizza ordering dildo.
It's currently in the final stages of development, but
tasty.
Yeah, it should be available
Soon
for
enough.
purchase in a couple months.
$19.95. That's less than a
cheap.
pizza,
Yeah.
really. So I like the price point.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll order a few for the girlfriend. I don't know. Gosh.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of other weird sex stuff that you didn't know existed, we have a problem here in America with guns, okay? And we're not going to go down this road too deep because we didn't talking about this.
Sure.
We need to fix all that stuff, and we need to work on legislation. We don't need kids getting shot at schools, and we need to protect the kids. Kids shouldn't be dying going to school. Meanwhile, in China, they're cracking down on funeral strippers. So this is where we're at, America. We are school shootings, and China is having a problem with funeral strippers. You tell me who's more advanced here.
Yeah.
I'm leaning toward the yen on this one.
Yeah.
You don't hear their kids aren't dying at school. They're worrying about funeral strippers. Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah.
Funerals are
terrible.
Would you say? Yeah, they're the worst. Funerals are horrible. It's already bad enough someone died.
They're the worst private parties. That's what you're saying.
Someone died, so let's hold a shitty private party for it.
Yeah.
When I die, well, I'm not going to die because in the future, they're going to fix all this, and I'm never going to die. I'll be, a head in a glass jar with android arms.
Listening to the background.
Yeah. Hanging out with aliens.
Yeah.
High-fiving them.
There you go.
Or high 8. I don't know how many fingers I'm going to have on my robot arms.
Oh,
but
man.
it's going to be sick.
Probably shoot for 12.
I'll shoot for 12.
Yeah.
Have a rub grub.
Yeah.
Fingers will be rub grubs.
You guys hungry?
Hungry? Oh, there's 20 pizzas. Shit. I can't help it, guys. Every time I come, it
Jesus.
fires off a pizza order. So China is cracking down on funeral strippers. I didn't know that was a problem, but they're doing it right. The Japanese, the Chinese have a lot more fun than the rest of us.
That's for sure.
While we are trying to figure out if we should arm teachers, here's China. Their Ministry of Culture. Boy, we could use one of those. Yeah. Fuck, I sort of like the way this is going for China.
Right.
Communism, say what you will, but hey, that's a thing that happens. Said late last month, it would be targeting striptease and other obscene, pornographic, and vulgar performances at funerals and other gatherings across Henan, Anhui, Jiangsu, and Hebei provinces. I murdered all of those. I don't know a lick of Chinese.
Yeah, this is the best part, though. The Ministry of Culture has urged witnesses to call a special hotline
to report
any
performances. You really want to be that snitch? Yeah. Oh, it was Uncle Chin.
You're gonna be that guy in the corner that's like, uncomfortable right now.
Sort of, yeah. Okay, so with reward, and they reward offers for informants. So you can be a snitch, I guess. Here's a quote: the crowd is pushed to climax, roaring with laughter. This is poorly worded.
It really is.
Whistling, applauding, and cursing. State media said, as the performers saunter into the audience to jiggle their breasts and rub men's crotches. This is going great. Yeah, it doesn't say anything what they do with the dead body. Is this a closed casket, do you think, or is there corpse play? I don't think there's
a disco ball going on here, and
I feel like corpse play is probably out of it. I feel like this is after they've put Uncle Tom down in the.
I think you're probably right here. Yeah.
Right, Uncle Tom, Uncle John. I don't know what your uncle's name is. I don't have any uncles anymore. I don't think. So no photographs allowed, which is nice. Hiring entertainers for funerals is a long-standing practice in rural China, as ensuring a high so they got rednecks too.
Yeah, absolutely.
As ensuring a high number of mourners attend the ceremony. Seriously, this is how bad funerals are. And again, China's rednecks are way ahead of us on this.
Yeah,
they are way ahead of us. It's like, you know what? This party sucks. You know what it needs? Titties. They could use titties.
Strippers are also sometimes hired for weddings and temple fairs.
Hey, you know I bet they have health care too.
Yeah, right.
I bet they do. So, meanwhile, back here in 2018, I hate going back 30 years, but let's talk about talking to kids. Now that we got all the NC-17, I didn't want to sandwich this little piece about kids in between pizza ordering dildo and Chinese funeral strippers, because it just felt like it was probably going to get us a call made on us.
You're kind of in a unique spot when it comes to this subject.
So I sort of am. How to talk. This comes to us from NPR Ed. This is it's interesting. This was put out on February 18th. How to talk with kids about terrible things. I have to do this a lot. My son's 13, so the nice thing is though, he for a 13-year-old, he's a lot more like talking to you or me.
Yeah, he is. He's a smart little kid.
So he's pretty smart, and I can level with him a lot more like another human as opposed to a subject, I guess. But maybe that's more me. So this piece came after the most recent school shooting here in America, because they're just going to keep happening. We're not going to do anything about it. We're just going to continue to allow our children to be murdered. So, that being the case, we need to know how to talk to them about things like this. Because clearly, nothing's going to be done to prevent them. Now we just have to figure out how to ease the burden. That's the message that we're all kind of left with. So, let's get into it, because you can learn how to do this before the next one, Silver linings.
Right.
Tune in. So, these are some suggestions. First, pay attention, not just to what your kids are saying, but what they do. And this is good. These are things. I do this with my kiddo all the time. You being a new parent, these are things that you can kind of put in your toolbox.
And you can usually tell, you get your feelers out.
Yeah,
you
my kiddo's pretty good about giving me cues as to when he's ready to talk about things.
Sure.
Like he's 13, so he's learning things, and he asked me for lotion recommendations recently.
Awkward.
Not so much.
Okay.
The thing is, me and my kid, there's kind of like a friendly thing where I don't have to, it's not, my first instinct is like, oh God, anything I say at this moment could wreck him for life. So, I was just like I'd say to you, I'm like, well, I use this stuff with cocoa butter because, it's moisturizing. I don't know. What I didn't tell him is about conditioner.
Okay.
Because conditioner, you always run out of conditioner before you do shampoo.
That's true.
And so I don't want him getting into the conditioner. That's not a thing. We do have to share a shower, but I digress. So tune in. That's a good one. My kiddo usually gives me a cue. He'll ask me a question. Sure. And usually that question is out of place with anything else that's happened during the day.
Yeah.
And so then I know, okay, time to listen, time to talk, do these things. Emphasize.
Good to know.
Emphasize that your kid's safe. When things like horrible things like school shootings happen, they're saying that it's important for adults to reinforce the safety efforts that their schools and the adults in their lives are already taking to keep them safe. Wow, I don't know. Okay, so I think as adults, you could probably say that you do what you can to keep your home safe.
Right.
I don't think the schools are really being I don't think that's really the school's job.
No.
I think they make
Is
sure
there
you
any
cross
sort
the
of
street.
like regulatory process? You know what I mean?
Well, in some of these schools, like even Stoneman Douglas had a guard nearby, had an armed guard, or maybe they didn't. I don't know. I didn't really check. To be honest with you.
Okay.
But a lot of places do. A lot of
Right.
places are well protected, like airports. Maybe we should just have the kids go to school at the airport, because you can't get away with shit in the airport.
No
You
kidding.
can't get a fucking bottle of water on an airplane here.
Right.
I think we ought to just move class to the airport. We already got those TSA agents that aren't doing shit.
Right.
I mean, and they get to learn about weekly colon checks,
Yeah. Bacteria.
rubber gloves. This is, man, I don't know. I read this like a week ago and it hit me differently.
Yeah, sure.
So there's some good points in here though. Let their questions be your guide. That's what I was.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Here. So here's a good one. If the child says some kids got really hurt, you can respond reassuringly, but without unnecessary detail.
Right.
Reeves suggests something like this. Yes, some kids did get hurt. And here's what the adults are doing at your school to make sure you are safe.
See, I wish you could say that. Definitely not around here. You couldn't say that around here.
No.
What measures are schools doing? You know what I mean? But again, kind of going
Again. The whole gist of this is that there are good ways and bad ways to talk to your kid about this stuff.
Right.
But now that I'm looking at this, and now that I'm seeing that, clearly it's nothing but. I mean, if you've been on Facebook, I mean, people are just going back and forth. Democrats, Republicans, this, that, and the other.
I've literally been about this fucking close getting off Facebook again, dude.
Yeah. Here's the problem: when children are dying, it's probably not a good time to
Throw your dick around.
Yeah. I mean, the pissing contest.
Yeah.
It's like, what I will say is that it's pretty encouraging that the kids that survived the shooting are they are what they are they're lit, dude.
Man.
They are up and at them, and they kids all across America, teens are actually are getting active now and talking about this stuff, which is super cool. But again, it's a pretty sad state of affairs when they've got to do that.
Yeah.
Because they don't have a voice, because they can't, most of them can't vote.
Right.
All the people that they trust to take care of these things aren't taking care of them. I don't know what you do there. How do you talk about that?